Welcome back to Redlining, and the beauty factor is going through the roof today, not just because Richard's not here, he's away with COVID, or as I like to call it, the common cold. He's been replaced by the intern. She's come off the bench. Welcome, Yvie Harvey Salter.
Hi.
Hey, feeling excited?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very excited. First podcast, and with the lovely Belu.
Thank you. We are joined by Belu Colombo. Welcome very much.
Hello.
Welcome very much. What does that mean? What does that mean? How are you?
Good. You?
Very good, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bring that mic right up to your face there.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Lovely. Now, we'll get this out of the way now. You are going to be performing at Rougelining on the 28th of July, which I keep getting wrong all the time. And thanks for that. That's going to be awesome. You're going to be brilliant.
Yay.
We are fully excited about that. And so tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from? You're not actually from Colombia, are you?
No, I'm not actually from Colombia. I'm from Argentina. And a lot of people get confused because my surname is Colombo, but I'm actually from Argentina.
So why Colombo?
Colombo? Why my surname? It actually, yeah.
Is that your actual surname?
Yeah, it's
your
my
actual
surname.
name. Oh, I thought it was like a DJ name or something.
Like a stage name. It works.
No. I thought about getting a DJ stage, but then I kind of really like my name. I like Belu. It's kind of like very unique outside Argentina.
Yeah.
In Argentina, everyone is Belu, but outside Argentina, it's very unique. So I thought might as well keep it. Yeah, I kind of really liked it. So
That's awesome. Cool. So how did you get into DJing, and how long have you been doing it for?
So I've been doing it for 3 years. So it's been quite recent. I actually have a background in architecture. I'm an architect, nothing to do with music. But a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I finished my studies and I decided to go to Mexico. And I was staying in a hostel, and a group of Europeans, they invited us to go to a festival, and I fell in love with the music, and then I got obsessed with the music, and one thing led to another one, and I ended up being a DJ.
That's right. So do you produce as well? Do you produce your own stuff?
Yeah, I produce my own music. I started producing during lockdown, so I did some online courses for music production, and I fall in love too as well, and I started producing, and
that's awesome. So what do you prefer doing? Do you prefer producing, or did you prefer the DJ side?
No, I prefer DJ.
You want to be up on stage,
I love being on stage. It's nothing I'm so passionate about it. Just the energy and everything that I feel in that moment. There's nothing that I can't reach that level of adrenaline without anything else.
So it's still pretty fresh. You said it was only 2 years ago when you really started getting into it.
3 years. And performing 2 years and a half. Yep. So November. It was November after COVID that I got my first gig.
Yeah.
It's been really recent.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So Yvie here bought her first decks last week.
I did.
Really? Exciting.
Yeah, just for fun. I do music acoustic, but I thought we'd give it a bit of a whirl. So it's really inspiring hearing, obviously.
What genre?
I'm still learning.
You're still learning?
I'm still learning my own sound, and I've just been playing with it for about 4 days.
Oh yeah.
So really green, so fresh, but really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to hear that you obviously you've been doing it for what, 2 years, but you're amazing, and you're gigging a lot, and you've got the blue tick next to your name on it. I'm like, whoa, celebrity.
It's all about the tick. I think you're our first blue tick, maybe.
Wow.
Oh really?
Oh no, we have Fat Boy Slim. No. I take that
Not
back.
on the podcast.
Not on the podcast.
No.
So techno's your main jam, is that correct?
Yeah, techno. I do hard techno and trance. I love trance a lot. But I do techno, and then I do mix a little bit with trance melodies to soften it a little bit. I find when a DJ sets all the same thing, all the same genre, I find it a bit repetitive, and I get very bored and the party. But that's myself. I get I need a change. So I worked out. I always think about myself and how I was feeling in the dance floor and what I needed back then when I was raving. And I was okay, I need change. So all the time during my DJs mixes, I all the time change think.
Yeah.
Like there's always something new going on, and that like keeps me interesting and keeps the crowd interested too. Like it's kind of like a two-way. So yeah, trance and techno.
Cool. When you say changes, are you meaning the what's in vogue is changing all the time, or what you decide to play is changing all the time?
No, like I mean, it's usually this similar thing every time, but it has like new elements coming, like new melodies, like something interesting. I don't know, that something that will caught people's attention. Usually trance is amazing for that, because it kind of softens a little bit the heartbeats, the drums, and the repetitive, and it kind of breaks it down, and people can have a break, and and in that break is also like very beautiful, because usually these melodies are very emotional, and they have like a big connection with I don't know, deep feelings, and so it's kind of like, it's very nice.
So it's kind of like a film. You've got like a rhythm.
Yeah.
And then you can bring people down again, and you just smash them in the face with action.
Exactly. That's exactly what I do. And I do that during my mixes. I do that like quite a lot. I don't know how many times, but I usually like I do two hard techno tracks, and then one with like a melody, beautiful melody, and then again up, and then like that. I do that all the time, and it works very well. Like people respond very positive, and I love it too. So if I love it, then people.
Cool. I'm really interested to hear like how you found your sound, like how you found that techno was for you.
So basically on that gig that I went to Mexico a few years ago, that party was progressive house. And I had no idea about the electronic music scene. Like I was partying more on regular normal clubs. I did like back in the past, like for EDM, more EDM music, but more commercial. But then when I found progressive house, I was like, wow, what is this? I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is this music? And then, of course, when I came back, I started like researching, and I spent a few months only in progressive house just because I didn't know what was like out there. And then a good friend of mine sent me a link of Charlotte DeWitt. She's like very big in techno. And soon I was not even in a rave, I was in my house with my headphones, just randomly I listened, and straight away I was like, oh my God, what is this? I love it. And after that, like I started like looking for techno, and I was listening to techno 7 a.m. in the morning until 10. I was working with techno, going to the gym with techno.
Addicted to techno.
I was just obsessed with techno. I couldn't get enough. And still now I can't. Like I love producing techno. Like I don't mind. I love it actually. Repeating the tracks again and again and trying.
You never get sick of them.
You have to love it, I think. Otherwise, you just
That's so cool.
Otherwise, you go nuts.
The gigs that you've performed in, what's been your favorite gig so far? What kind of gigs do you do? Like the big crowds, or do you like something a little more smaller and intimate? What's your jam?
Yeah, I like big crowds. Yeah.
Spoken like a true South American.
Now I came back to Argentina, and I did kind of like a mini tour. And I played. That was a big dream, to be honest, because I started DJing in New Zealand. So this was the first time that I was back in Argentina as a DJ. And I got a big gig there, like in a big club, and it was amazing. That was kind of like a dream come true, because going back to my hometown and playing there, and and the crowd in South America are wild. Oh my God, like, they were crazy. They were crazy. I couldn't I was
obviously, I think most of us know that South Americans are mental. You guys party pretty hard, but what are the pros and cons of the two different cultures? Like New Zealand is...
So New Zealand is beautiful, like, I mean, in terms of landscapes and like, it's a beautiful place. I find the economy very, very well in here, and it's very safe. That's, to me, I escape from Argentina, like looking for a safe place, and this was amazing. Like literally, I could leave my phone, no one's touching it. Yeah. Like you can go to gigs and you don't have to worry about your bag and stuff. And I find that very, very amazing.
Cool.
If you go to, but for example, I find it that there's still a lot to work on techno in here. Like there's no big crowds for it. Like there's not much culture around the genre still. I find like people are more into drum and bass and like other type of sounds. So still, I think it will come. It will come eventually, but it will take a while to people.
Feels like it's boiling away there.
It is. Yeah. But I think it will take a while. It will take a while, and that's something that I would say it's a downside for me. Yeah. And in Argentina, I would say same. Like, for example, it's very unsafe. Economy is terrible.
Wow, yeah.
But the parties are amazing.
That's the main thing. Well, yeah, tell us about like growing up in Argentina and what made you decide to come to New Zealand?
So I grew up in Argentina. I was born in Buenos Aires, which is the capital. But back then, it was already very unsafe. So my parents decided to move to Cordoba, which is another city that's smaller than Argentina, and I grew up there, and it was very amazing. I was very lucky to be able to study for free. University is free in Argentina. Cool. So for me to becoming an architect was quite like very accessible. There's a lot of like good things about Argentina. But the only reason I decided to leave was first economy. Like sometimes you find yourself working heaps of hours and you can't afford much. Like it's like sometimes you can't even pay the whole rent, or like you can't. It's very, very hard. And the other thing is I was feeling very unsafe. I got robbed 5 times in a year.
What?
Oh,
yeah, I'm a very special case because I usually leave my stuff everywhere. I'm gonna like, come on, steal me. But still, here I do the same and I don't get robbed.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't survive in Argentina.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh my goodness.
You leave everything lying around all the time.
Oh wow, yeah.
Your music that you play, would you say it's influenced in a South American kind of way? Do you have a certain sort of flavor to what you play?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I think it's very European.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's very European because I've been listening all the time to these big artists like from Europe, Charlotte, Emily Lenz, Alignment, Richie Houghton, and I think I absorbed a lot of what they do, and then I try to come up with something new. Still trying, of course, to learn and to come up with new stuff. But I have a lot of influence from them, from Europe.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Nice. What countries have you played in apart from New Zealand and Argentina, or are you just still working on that? You still doing that?
Yeah, so I played in Mexico. I went for a tour last year, and I played in Tulum in Playa del Carmen. It was beautiful too. And then, I played in Argentina and then New Zealand.
Right. If there was a festival anywhere in the world that plays every year, anyone in particular, what's your dream gig?
So my dream gig is actually in Cordoba, in Argentina.
Really?
Yeah. Not Tomorrowland. I mean, don't get me wrong. For who doesn't want to play in Tomorrowland? But it's in Cordoba. It's called Forja. And they running like big events, and like I think they have like 10,000 or 20,000 people sometimes in there. And it's very good for techno, for the kind of sound that I have, and that's my dream. If I play there one day, we will say okay.
Cool. Is it like a beautiful landscape? Like what's the No, it's just the town.
No, it's actually a massive warehouse.
What?
Like
wow.
Huge,
that's your vibe. I love that.
Yeah, huge warehouse, dark, with like really good like light, like visuals and stuff. I've been there heaps of times when I was raving in Cordoba, and I just love it.
The name's so exotic. I was like envisioning like a beautiful kind of like landscape. So
It actually look a bit scary.
It's like, is this a Halloween festival? What is going on?
And what about New Zealand gigs? Like, what has been what was the first gig that you really broke into? So you started only 2 or 3 years ago. So what was the first big thing that you did here?
So Twisted Frequency Festival, that was big. I played there, what was it? This summer, not the summer before. That was really good. That was very nice. Yeah, because I was very new too, and like it was a really nice experience. It's in the South Island.
Beautiful.
Yeah, close to Nelson.
Yep.
Yeah. So that would have been just coming out of COVID, was it?
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Just break the lockdown parts.
Yeah, and then of course Sonorous. I played for Sonorous.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. That was very good too.
That's a really cool festival. Yeah, we've been there.
I think next year's going to be pretty epic. Are you going next year?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm playing yet, but
right.
Yeah, of course I'm going.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
Carcock's that one, eh?
Carcock's.
Might go and have a party. Might go and see how it goes.
What's the strangest, like the weirdest gig that you've done?
It was actually because I was playing in Mexico and I was playing. It was kind of like a 5-day festival, and they were coming all the big artists from all around the world to play there.
Yeah,
and they had this day gigs and nighttime gigs, and I was playing that day. I was playing at night, so it was kind of the same gig, but not.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wasn't playing at that moment, but. They took me to, they say, okay, just come. And I was in the band with this DJs and stuff. And I went and it was like, the band started like driving very far away. And there was literally no one around. Like, I was like, where are we going?
Like holding you hostage?
But like Juliet Fox was in the band with me. So I was like, she's a good DJ too. And I was like, okay, we're safe. We're not going to random place. And we arrived into this amazing 5-star hotel. It was beautiful. Wow. And there was like pools and like the stage was beautiful, but there was literally no one. There was like, weird. Like, four, I think it was like, I'm not going to name them because it's,
it's like your partners.
I'm not going to name them because I don't want to make, but like, there was literally only me and 2 other people in the pool listening to these amazing mixes of like high quality artists in there, but there was no one there. Like, I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they didn't promote it. So bizarre. Like, literally, I'm talking about, like, really good artists. Like, I had a private party of, like...
What?
Yeah, I don't understand.
It's like they just put it on for you guys.
Yeah.
Just to have a jam.
No idea. No idea.
That is bizarre. I wasn't expecting that. Like, what a waste. Of amazing, mixes and crazy.
So is this looking like a full-time gig at the moment, or are we still?
No, I'm still in the transition. Yeah. So I work during the day. I work as a kitchen designer. I'm an interior designer. Yeah.
I guess
so
the
I do
architecture.
architect. Yeah. Which is kind of like my second passion, I would say.
Yep.
It's the second thing that I like the most.
Yeah.
So,
And you like DJing now over architecture?
No.
Yeah. You've found your calling.
Yeah. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
Cool.
So ideally, you're going to eventually maybe we'll step away from the kitchen architecture.
Yeah.
And just go full time into this.
Yeah. The plan is next year. Hopefully, I'm planning to go to Europe.
Yep.
So next year, I'm planning to go there and
go on tour.
Yeah. No, live there permanently.
No way.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Really?
Which part?
Barcelona.
Oh,
Spain. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So because here is like there's not much for me to do here. There's not many gigs. Like literally, I think there's like only 1 techno gig per month. If I'm talking like lucky. Yeah. Like I think now it hasn't been a gig for like more than a month and a half.
Yeah.
Like there's no gigs.
Yeah,
Especially for what I do is very niche. Like it's like hard techno. It's like people don't know about it. They're very.
Yep.
So nah, I have to.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I totally encourage it.
Europe, oh my god, like they have gigs everywhere.
Yeah,
and then so it's so easy to travel over there. Like you can literally, you can literally take a train and like be everywhere.
Oh, stop it! We might jump in your suitcase.
Yeah.
So eventually, but in New Zealand, you start to feel like a big fish in a small pond. When it for you, because you're one of the few who, as you say, actually touching in the genre as much as you are. So you're better off going to Europe, finding that passion and just following it.
Yeah, that's a plan.
Yeah. That's cool. So when you're looking at doing that next year?
Next year, I don't know exactly what month, but probably mid-year or if.
And how come Barcelona out of all of Europe? Like, why Barcelona?
I don't know.
No reason because it's close to Ibiza or anything else.
No, I think we've been thinking about, because I'm only with my partner, of course, and we've been thinking a lot, and I think it's a really good starting point. We don't know if we're going to stay there, but it's good because I speak Spanish too, so it would be very easy to get used to. The culture is very similar to Argentina, so
Spain.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
And Portugal, you're so close to Portugal as well.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
I'm just thinking about the food. Is the food similar? Random
the
question.
food, I don't think it's that similar.
Not to here, but to Argentina.
Europe to Spain to Argentina.
Yeah.
It's closest than here.
Yeah.
Way. Yeah.
Do you have any weird experiences that you can share in terms of some of the people? We quite often talk to the DJs here, right? And they say that they get these random people coming up requesting the most ridiculous things. Do you get a bit of that, or are you just too far away, too backed out from the crowd to do that?
No, I don't. I don't. No, especially the genre that I'm playing is like they can't ask for something because they want, like, there's no way to mix it.
I find that techno DJs are more like musicians, not saying DJs aren't musicians, but they're more like musicians. It's like you wouldn't go up to a saxophonist and say, could you could you play this for me?
No.
Randomly, can you play Happy Birthday? That'd be great.
It's more kind of like the artist is doing their own thing. Which I really love that, to be honest. I like that because it's kind of like my moment where like I kind of feel, comparing to my design career, I kind of sometimes I get frustrated because I create something. I've been always very creative since I was a kid, so I was always creating stuff all over the place, and I kind of like have this thing where I create something and I don't like when people start, like, I don't know, stripping things and like I feel like my creation is destroyed, bleeding everywhere. So I'm kind of like I understand that it's for the client, but I really love what I love the most about DJing is like when I'm there, like no one it's my thing. No one is like ruin my creations.
Well, that's the thing. Like when you're playing, so you just have like your set, or do you just like whatever kind of comes to you in the moment? You just
to be honest, I'm going to be 100% honest. I always prepare something.
Nice.
I always am a very like obsessive person, so I always have my mix prepared. But most of the times, in the moment, I change it. Like I don't know, it's just like. It happened that I play in Buenos Aires and it was like an after party. So I had to play from 10 a.m. to 12. Oh. So after like a full night and I like, and my music is quite intense. So I was like, when I started playing, I see like the people were like a bit, it was too much already. Like imagine. So I was like, oh no, I need to, like, I'm not vibing with this situation. So I immediately like changed and like I kind of hooked them, and like after that they were partying until 12 and they were like, no, don't go. They didn't want me to go, and I was like, okay, it's 12. You guys have to go to sleep.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but usually it depends. Like I'm always prepared. Just in case anything happens, I don't know. Like if I'm not comfortable with the gear, DJ gear, or anything that happens, I have a plan. I have something there that.
Because that's the thing. I guess when you play at different venues, you use their equipment.
Their equipment.
You don't carry yours around with you.
Exactly. So you have to adapt, and sometimes it gets a bit tricky. Yeah.
Have you ever gone out to a system at a location and just gone, I haven't got a fucking clue? Or are they fairly much all the same?
There was this one time.
One time when I first started, they told me that I was going to play with the CDJs, right?
Yep.
Which I'm used to that. That's what I used to play. But all of a sudden, the same day of the gig, and this is like very common for some reason, they change the gear on the same day. And I'm like, sometimes 20 minutes before the gig. But anyway, they called me saying that we were going to play with a controller.
Right.
And it was a controller that I was using a completely different software that I've never used, which was Serato.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I was back at the time I was using Traktor and record box, and that was the only one I didn't use. But I said to myself, okay, it should be the same thing. And I went and I played, but it was a disaster. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but I think that was the worst performance I had. I was feeling very uncomfortable. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
That was the very beginning.
It sounds like that you're a bit of a perfectionist, if I'm picking up on that vibe. So you're a bit of a perfectionist.
Being an architect.
So maybe there was a little bit of just not overthinking, because there is a difference, but it certainly doesn't help.
Maybe it wasn't that bad. I don't know.
I think it was probably great. Everyone was like, she's fucking awesome. But
it was luckily it was a small gig. There were not many people, and my friend said it was not too bad. So.
I was thinking
they
that,
liked it.
Yeah, I guess starting out, when you did a couple of years ago, playing at bars or clubs or whatnot, I guess there'll be lots of drunk people, so you don't have to worry so much about messing up or anything like that.
Remembers.
Good.
It's okay. It's not that bad.
It's a good save.
How did you get into your so you're doing it at home, you're doing your own thing, you're learning how to do it, you're doing it for the love. How did you approach finding work or finding gigs, or just finding the courage to actually get out there and stand in front of a crowd and do it?
To get the gigs, it's sending emails, networking, trying to contact the people, trying to know them, trying to see what they do and what I can offer them. Yeah. And then getting into the stage is it's scary. Especially the first few times it's very scary, but I just love it so much that it's literally 5 minutes that I'm very nervous. No, I'm lying. I'm
You're never nervous.
No, I'm totally lying. I'm 2 hours before the gig. 2 hours. Yeah. A long time before the gig that I'm very nervous. Very nervous. During the day it's all good, but then when the time I get very nervous. Yeah. But then it's literally 5 minutes until I start playing the first track. I do the first transition, and then after that, usually I see that everything is all good with the gear. I feel good. I like the music. I like it, and then that's it. I just start in this adrenaline peak that I forget about everything.
Yeah.
Do you have any rituals before you go up? You're nervous, but what nothing that kicks you out? You don't do not a shot of vodka or something. You just
maybe I should.
Or you don't get slapped in the face by your manager with Slim.
See some strange things.
Yeah. No. Maybe I should the shot of vodka.
Shot of vodka. Yeah, we'll encourage that.
No, we won't.
And get everyone in the audience still with you.
Yeah, maybe I should do that.
Do you find is it a seasonal thing? So obviously summer, you're quite busy. And then,
winter is the worst in here. Yeah, it's very quiet. But also I found it because there's been a few promoters that left. For example, there was a really good promoter that I was playing quite often for him that left to Australia. My mate that we were running gigs together, he went to Australia. Everyone's kind of left after the lockdown, and it's literally very few. And I've seen promoters are struggling at the moment. I see that too, because I don't know, for example, Kolu, they've been running gigs, and it's a lot of effort to run a gig and stuff, and they brought some very famous and big artists, and then the dance floor is still not packed, and it's kind of I kind of understand that there's been less and less gigs around, because it's kind of a big risk for no much rewarding. So
So from your experience coming from Argentina, which is clearly a bigger party scene, to here, what do you think could be done differently in New Zealand? What do you think?
have one idea in my head, but I'm not sure because everyone's going to drum and bass gigs, right? There's like a lot of big market for that genre.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to introduce people on one of those gigs to this other genre, which is techno, like done it in a proper way, like with a proper sound and with a proper mix and everything, and they might understand what's going on because I kind of have the impression that they don't know.
Yeah.
So you can't go to a gig when you actually don't know what it is about. Like, why would you go? So I think it's about culture. I think that's the problem, just to teach people a little bit more about the sound.
Yeah.
So what it sounds like and what it is.
Yeah, promoters and stuff going for the safe bet a little bit too much, you know?
Yeah. I feel like, and people usually, maybe young people, they're just going where everyone's going. So it's hard to break that circle, right?
Yeah.
That loop of like all the time the same genre and because techno is actually amazing and it's huge in Europe, in South America, everything. It's where it's actually trending at the moment. All around the world, so it's
going to be huge here in 10 years.
It's going to because everything is kind of slow.
A bit slow here. Yep.
We are always behind.
Yeah. So I reckon in a few years it's going to be huge in here too.
Yeah. And then Europe's going to be onto something completely different. They'll be back in dubs. They'll be back in dubs.
Probably.
Yeah. Psytrance is trending a lot in Europe nowadays, which is I love psytrance too. So
Psytrance, cool.
So Yvie's going to start learning techno.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Acid house. We're like full retard.
Actually, that's an interesting one for someone who is new getting into DJing. Is there a certain genre which is easier to learn, like a language? Is there a genre which is easier to get into to start off with, and then start exploring different things?
Yeah, I feel like because I've played a few different genres, and progressive house is very easy to mix. I find it myself way more easier than techno. Techno, it's a bit more complicated. Not that bad, to be honest, but progressive house is a good way to start, and then from then you can just explore some other ones. But yeah.
I'm really interested in, like, obviously you said you studied architecture, and so you would have been really like introverted, I guess, in that job, right? Like, and then going from that to a full performing role, like, how did you find that transition? Like, had you performed before doing?
No, never ever performed anything. Like I always, and I've always been the type of person that I was getting very nervous of going and like in the class to talk about my projects and stuff. I never, but for some reason in the club I feel safe. I feel that I can do it. Cool. I don't know. Techno has like a really good like. It's a really good environment in terms of like people like not caring about what's going on much, and it's all good. Like it doesn't matter what you're wearing, it doesn't matter. Like I used to go to regular clubs and I didn't like it as much because there was always like a competition between the woman who was the best looking, or like everyone was like trying to get you, or like you know try to buy a drink and stuff. And when I started raving, I found myself like safe in that environment. Like I was like I could like wear, like I wasn't wearing heels anymore, I was wearing sneakers. I was just like happy, and no one really cared. Like everyone is like in that kind of like very nice open mind state. Because of that I feel very safe of like playing, and also people are very grateful. Like every time that I play, and when I finish, they come and see me and they say beautiful things, and they're very grateful for, and that, I don't know, it's nice, you know. You want to go back. It's rewarding. It's rewarding.
It's true. The gig season in New Zealand's awesome because New Zealanders especially seem to just come out a bit more, come out of their shells more, dance more. Just more. Everyone's just in a better mood. And it's not just because it's summer. It's something to do with the music. It's definitely something to do with the music, and everyone's just losing themselves to it.
Which is amazing. Yeah.
So you're possibly shifting. I'm saying possibly because who knows next year. But have you got things lined up for the summer coming? Do you think they're far ahead?
Not yet. We need to work a little bit more.
Yep.
I've been focusing more on music production at the moment.
Sure.
So yeah, we need to start working more on the booking side. But yeah, I'm doing very well with the music production. Like I'm focusing on that at the moment, having some EPs coming soon, and yeah.
Are you with a label, or are you searching for a label?
No, with labels. Yeah. So I was very fortunate enough last year to get signed one of my second EP with Autochton, which is the fourth biggest label in the world.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, which
Cool.
was really
Amazing.
good.
Yep.
And then I was again very lucky. One of the biggest DJs, Amelie Lenz, she picked it up and she played on the main stage of Tomorrowland with my track. And then after that, yeah,
Like that would have been just like surreal.
yeah, it was insane. And then
Did you know it was going to happen, or it just happened?
no, I had no.
So how did you find
no.
out? Did you just watch a video of it and you went, what the that's my, what the
No, I didn't. Not even that.
Really?
Like I was just at my house, and all of a sudden I got a message on Instagram. One of my kind of like, I don't know, fans. Yeah, he's always like following my music all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Belu, I don't know if you know, you probably know already, but Amelie Lenz played Moment of Beginnings in Tomorrowland. And like I got like goosebumps. I couldn't believe. I was like, for 1 second, I was like, okay, this is bullshit. Like, sorry.
No, welcome.
This is like, okay, this is not true. And like, because I was very lucky too that the video was recorded. The whole set of Amelie playing in Tomorrowland was recorded, and they put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it was actually the official video of Tomorrowland was there. So it was not altered or anything. It was there. So I went to YouTube first before telling anything. Like I went to YouTube and I went to the middle of the set because he said I was in the middle of the set, and it was actually there.
Holy
like
shit.
it was like my
I need
track.
to look this up now.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's
it
so
was
cool.
actually there. Like my track was playing in the main stage of Tomorrowland.
Wow. You're like, I've made it.
Yeah, and after that, like I had a second track signed on the same label, and then she played also another of my tracks on her radio show.
Yeah.
And it's been insane. And also and then I went to Argentina, and I was lucky also that she was playing Amelie in Buenos Aires same time that I was there, so I went to see her and she played my track.
What? Oh my goodness. That's incredible.
Yeah. So music production is going like way better than bookings.
Yeah.
I think if I was
Amazing.
in Europe, like I think the situation would be different because then there's like a lot of bookings over there. So I'm focusing. I'm still making music and
you're doing it like you're doing all the producing on your own. Like you're doing collaborations or anything like that.
on my own. Yeah.
Cool.
So far on my own. Yeah.
Sweet. So you just bury yourself in a little room somewhere and you just do it.
Yeah.
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Just burying yourself, or just constantly.
Oh, I know.
Mixing all
a little
the time.
bit.
Yeah.
It's so addictive, eh?
It's
like
very
once you
addictive.
start
Yeah,
and you really like, and you hit something that sounds really good, you're like, the time flies, like hours just disappear.
Yeah, it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to stop when you're having a good day.
Yeah.
When I'm having a bad day in the studio, it's horrible. It's very painful.
Actually, that's a good point. We haven't brought this up with anyone, which is surprising me. Do you get quote unquote writer's block? Do you find yourself sitting there trying to find something, and how do you get through that?
When I have these blocks, when I have a block, it's horrible. But the problem is like nothing comes up. Like even sometimes but I don't want to quit, so I keep trying, and like I think I should be a little bit more nice to myself, and in those moments try to like, okay, no, let's just leave this. Go. I tried. Sometimes I do, and I just go watch some Netflix, and so I'm having a massive block. But it eventually goes away. It's like one day you sit in the studio and everything comes. Like all of a sudden in 2 days I have an amazing track.
That's
and
incredible.
like it's it just comes and go.
It's like you just
can't
channel
control it.
Yeah, you channel this like this creativity, I guess.
Yeah, I just literally can't control it. I wish I could, but
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about being a creative. Like it just comes from someplace else.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I have no idea where, but it's there. And I'm kind of trying to get along with the idea that it's like that, that it just like comes when it comes and it goes when it goes.
It seldom happens when you want it to. Normally when you're in the shower in a car or something and you're like, oh, fun. Yeah.
When you switch off, I guess. Then it just
What do you use techno to inspire you for techno, or do you find it in other areas?
I'm trying to listening to more because I feel like when I'm like listening to more other genres, like my level of production gets better. So at the moment I'm like I've been doing some podcasts on my YouTube channel, and I've been trying minimal techno, which is I find very, very cool. So
Describe minimal techno.
Minimal techno, it's like literally minimal. It's like way more stripped music. It's way softer and it has like very minimal elements. There's not much going on, but those elements are like very nice and they are like amazing.
I'm really into lo-fi. Is it a similar kind of?
No.
A bit more.
This is very dark.
I know where you're going. It's got a more of a melancholic kind of.
Not so much. It's very. I don't know how to explain it completely, but it's very. It has like a very dark atmosphere. It has like these dark voices too.
It's evil.
It's
cool.
It's kind of evil.
It's like witchy.
It's
like witchcraft.
Yeah, it's a bit spooky. I'm into that darkness.
Cool.
That's cool. So we'll be seeing you in the backstage at Splore sometime. One of the backstages, just keep it real grim. Keeping it grim. Keep it dark. So what's the biggest kick for you when you're on stage? Like, what's the biggest thrill? Like, you're halfway through a set, and what is it that just you see something, or you do something, or you make the crowd do something? What is it? What is that thing? Is it is it the drop like everybody else, or is it something a little different?
No, I think there's always in every gig that I play, there's always one person that grabs my attention. Because and I'm like usually focusing on that person along the whole, not in a creepy way, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm getting obsessed with the person. I'm just saying that there's always one person that can feel the music in the same way that I do. And I feel it. I know that person is understanding exactly everything that I'm doing, everything that I've designed, everything that I thought. That person, it's understood completely.
Cool.
And
so you latch on to someone who's getting it. You're not like a comedian and you can't make someone laugh and you're like, I'm gonna fucking get you. No, it's different. You find
it's different. Because a lot of people, they just go have fun, and some they're not getting the music. Like they're just like, there's nothing wrong with it, but they're not really understanding what I'm doing. Like they're just having fun. And when they go home, they can remember it if they had a lot of fun. Or if they had fun and the night was good. But there's usually one person that it's going crazy. And that's the most rewarding thing to me. That one person at least understood completely what I did. I can just go home and say,
cool.
Yes.
I think that one person here in the studio, like...
one fly.
Oh my god.
Just ignore it, it'll go away.
Okay, we'll ignore it.
Here it is, it's like channeling you. It's like, yes, I can feel your music.
Because I recognize her. I've been to one of the gigs. Is there any? Are there any genres that you really want to dabble in that you haven't yet? Is there something that you're like curious about?
I really like psytrance. So I've been trying to incorporate at least 1 or 2 tracks into my mixes. It's very trendy in Europe too. So I'm trying to get like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's a bit tricky to mix it, but I think psytrance, I really like psytrance. I don't see myself playing a full psytrance mix. No, same with trance. I love trance, but I don't see myself playing a whole trance mix. I'm a techno lover. But I do like to incorporate those elements from those genres into my mixes. Yeah, I think it's really good. Yeah.
Was there a time when you thought to yourself, you're learning. Let's go back in time. So you started teaching yourself during pretty much during COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So was there a time where you thought, right, I've got this, I've nailed it, and I'm gonna get out there and promote myself? And did you?
I don't know if
I'm thinking more of the producing side of things, not the DJing side of things.
The producing.
Producing side. Yeah.
So the first 2 tracks I was like that I put out there, I actually didn't like them. I was working with a manager back at the time, and he was like putting a lot of pressure to me to release music, and I was like very new. I didn't know what was I doing in the computer. Like I was just learning, teaching myself. They're not terrible. Well, kind of. They're not terrible, but I don't like them.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
no one likes their first kid. It's the ugly one.
The ugly practice child.
Let's try again.
Try again. And then I released those in December. So this December, no, the December before. And after that, I said, okay, no, I'm just going to study more because I didn't like them. So I spent like maybe 6 months after that. And I didn't like anything that I did. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, I produced a track that I fall in love. Like I was like, oh my God, this track is amazing. And I was living in my apartment in Hamilton by myself, and I literally finished the track, and I think I spent like 2 hours dancing like crazy to the track. I couldn't stop listening to it. I was like, play again, all the time. And I was like, okay, I love this track. So I decided to call it Moments of Beginning because I thought it was the first track that I thought that was the beginning of my career as a producer. So funny enough, a few months after, I get to this point like sometimes I like things and I don't like things, and I start overthinking. So I finished like 4 tracks. And I sent them. I was not going to send Moments of Beginning, but then my partner was like, "Why you not going to send everything?" So I sent all of them to Autochton, this big label that I was talking about. And then they signed Moments of Beginning. Wow. Out of 4 tracks, she signed that one, and then Amelie Lent picked it, and she played in Tomorrowland. So Moments of Beginning is the track that was playing Tomorrowland.
Oh my goodness. And that was like one of your first?
It was the 3rd track.
Wow.
So
oh my God, that is mind-blowingly awesome.
It's insane because it's the name. The name was like Moments of Beginning, and then I didn't plan any of this. Like I just put the name genuinely because that was the first track that I loved. And then I said, okay, this is the beginning of my career. And then
oh my goodness.
It could have been any of the other tracks, but
Is that Tomorrowland gig on YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah.
I'm going to link it.
It's in YouTube, and it's in the middle of the mix. She's like, and you can listen to the track in my Spotify too. It's
definitely. Oh my
gosh. Just like you pumped it everywhere. I would.
Absolutely.
So
that's a good point, actually. So where can people find your music? Spotify and
it's Spotify. It's in Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Music. It's everywhere at the moment.
Sweet.
Do you have like vocals or anything on your tracks or voice or anything?
I'm very, very into this kind of like very how do you explain? Very emotional vocals. They're not phrases usually. I've been very into like this, I don't know, mysterious or like beautiful women like singing but not singing. Just like a chord. Just like beautiful chords. It's like very beautiful, and usually use it on the drops, and the mix between that and the hard techno, it's amazing.
Oh, cool.
So
that's
I have a new track now that I haven't signed. It's unreleased, but it has like those voices a lot, and it's very beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
Can we hear it anywhere, or are you waiting to?
I'm waiting.
Waiting.
Yeah, I'm finishing a second track. I need to finish a second track to release the whole EP together. But
Yeah. And so do you collaborate with vocalists, or do you?
No, I usually find them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I find them, like, there's an app called Splice, and then you can find all different samples in there that, like, you can use. So I usually just find them in there and just add them to my productions. Yeah.
So good that it's so accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Yeah, nowadays it's kind of like it gets way easier to produce music.
It's come a long way from having to like shuffle through, vinyl.
Yeah.
Through crates.
Yeah. And I've just heard of like on these like noob kind of I'm such a noob, obviously I can't even think of the name of it, the controllers. It's got like beat sync.
Oh yeah.
And that's like it seems like such a cop out and such a cheat, but like that's where it is now for I guess people learning. Like myself, it's just like, oh my gosh, you're going straight to like cheating rather than
that was my problem because when I learned, I didn't have decks because I mean they're quite expensive, and I only had like a small mixer and that's it. Like just a mixer, so I couldn't do beat matching. So when I learned on the bad way, because I learned to to choose the track the bad way. I don't know if it's a bad way.
Bad way or the hard way?
I don't know. No, it would be like the easy way, because I was like the tracks will synchronize automatically. I was using Tractor, and that's how I started. Yeah, and that was a pity for me to learn like that. But then, I mean, it was like I did the all the way around. Like I started like that, and then I got some decks, and I was like, oh wow, okay, what's going on here? And then I learned.
How long did it take you? Was it quite a quick learning process?
Beat matching, it took me around, I would say, to master it, I would say maybe 5-6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, like
that's so good.
Practicing like every day.
Yeah.
Until my ear understood.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you do, kind of like it's weird. It's like a click. You do like a click, and you say, oh, yeah, now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
But before that, it was kind of like I was like, oh, it was not so easy. But I got there.
Well, Belu Colombo, thank you very much for coming
so much,
in and sharing your time with us. And again, one more time, where can people find you? You got website, you've got
website, Instagram, Belu Colombo. I'm everywhere with the same name.
Cool.
So YouTube too. Like I post like mixes regularly. So
sweet as. These will all be linked down below underneath the pretty pictures that you're watching.
Yeah,
good.
Amazing.
And thanks again for coming in, and good luck with the
Thank you
future.
so much.
And sounds like you got some exciting things coming up. Europe.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's sick. But
Rougelining as well.
Oh, Rougelining in a couple of weeks' time.
That's the big one.
Come and party. Rougelining 29th, 28th.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I'm terrible. It'll be done by as well. Just look at that and click on it to buy some tickets and come and have some fun and watch Belu Colombo. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for having me.
No worries.